Game 2, Baltimore Ravens hosting the Cleveland Browns on Sunday afternoon football. Their home opener against a familiar foe who just happens to be a old divisional brother back in the day. Baltimore Ravens against the Cleveland Browns at M&T Bank Stadium Sunday afternoon. Now, last game against the Buffalo Bills, we had a 15-point lead heading into the final minutes left of regulation. We gave up 22 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, and we allowed Josh Allen to cook our defense, who hasn't gotten a single pass rush in that game. But one thing is for sure that is going to change today, on Sunday. One thing that is going to change for sure. The Browns are definitely going to give us a run for our money. However, we spanked them last time we was in our home stadium, 35-10, to win the AFC North. This time, we're going to try to do that same thing once again. But it's not going to be easy because we got a familiar adversary in Joe Flacco coming back to town. This is most likely a revenge game for Flacco, as he's been with the team for over years and has won a Super Bowl with Baltimore in 2013. However, let me explain something to y'all. The Ravens pass rush needs to come off a huge outing. We only sacked Allen once. Only once, which costed us our loss. Pass rush was non-existent. We cannot allow Joe Flacco to get some time in the pocket this time. Because you saw what he did against the Bengals. He torched them for over many yards on the air. With their rookie tight end and David Njoku, they can be prepared for any other thing. So that's why we need to take them really seriously. Because they are apparently no joke to think that we are one. Granted, it's any given Sunday, but we should not be able to start off slow on any given Sunday when it comes to any given Sunday. We cannot let the Browns come into our house and upset us when we just came off a great outing against the Buffalo Bills. Now, priority number one, we need to gash the Browns' rush defense. They held Chase Brown to a couple of yards on the carry late, but they did not do well into giving up 17 points to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Who could know? Zay Flowers, this is your big moment, man. This is your big moment. You came off a tremendous outing against the Bills. Let's see if you can replicate this one against the Browns. Now let's see what this is going to get in store. Because granted, this is not an easy team that you want to face off. Literally. You cannot, and I mean cannot, attempt to go in there and expect to beat them. Oh no, they can give you a run for their money. Offensive line, this has to be your best game yet. You guys gave up a huge bag from Ed Oliver when he stripped the ball from Henry late in the game, when we could have had the chance for him to take a tackle for loss instead of him running. We gashed the Bills' rush defense multiple yards on the run game. Granted, the Bills are a really great team when it comes to stopping the run, but they haven't stopped the run as we thought they would. And when it came to the pass, Lamar torched them through the air to Zay Flowers. DeAndre Hopkins didn't even have any other catches. But regardless, we have to destroy the Browns in the passing game. So take a look at the stats from the Bengals versus the Browns. So basically, Baltimore torched the Bills. Or actually, let's take a look at the Bills when it came to the Ravens Bills. Lamar, 14 out of 19 completions, 209 yards for 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry averaged 2 touchdowns, and Lamar scored 1 rushing touchdown and averaged 70 yards in 6 carries. Receiving yards. Zay Flowers with 7 receptions for 143 yards and 1 touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins scored an amazing touchdown pass thrown by Lamar, and he had 2 receptions that game. Derrick Henry only had 1. Rashad Bateman only had 2. Mark Andrews had 1. And Justice Hill had 1. On defense, we haven't gotten any single interceptions. This is our time. We need to get turnovers. Malachi Starks, you dropped an interception in the beginning of the game when the Bills went on their opening drive to score. Let's not have that happen again. I know that you can intercept. I know that you guys can intercept Joe Flacco. I believe in you guys to do it. In kick returns, Rashid Ali, he returned 6 times for 167 yards with no touchdown. And punt returns, LeJohntay Wester returned 1 for 6 yards. That's it. Tyler Luke kicked 2 out of 2 field goals. Missed an extra point. It is what it is at that point. But let's take a look at the Bills. We gave Josh Allen time in the pocket. He gashed us for 394 passing yards through the air in 33 out of 46 completion attempts throughout this entire game. He scored 2 touchdowns. We cannot, and I mean cannot, have Joe Flacco score 2 touchdowns. Our secondary, yeah, they had some issues, but it was against the Bills. I guarantee you guys, we will not allow Joe Flacco to play his best game yet. Because take a look at what he did to the Bengals. So, taking a look right here, Joe Flacco threw the ball 45 times, completed 31 passes for 290 yards, 1 touchdown, but he had 2 interceptions. 2 of them. We gotta follow that blueprint. We cannot let him have an 80% average. Joe Burrow only had 1 touchdown damn near the entire game. Chase Brown also scored a touchdown on the ground. Granted, the Bengals tend to start the season off slow, but they won in week 1. And the Browns, Joe Flacco threw 2 picks and threw only 1 touchdown. If we can get him to at least 5 interceptions made by this defense, then we can have a shot at blowing the Browns out. 5 interceptions, that's the least that we can do. Because Joe Flacco, he struggled big time against this Bengals team. We cannot let him score any touchdowns from here on out. And taking a look at their defense, Myles Garrett had 2 sacks. and McGuire, number 57, only had a sack. They got 3 sacks against Joe Burrow. We, in our game against the Buffalo Bills, we gave up how many sacks? We gave up 2 sacks. One to Ed Oliver and the other to Matt Milano. Guaranteed, they are not, the Browns are definitely not Matt Milano and Ed Oliver. Because Ed Oliver is a beast. Matt Milano is also a beast. McGuire and Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is definitely a beast. But he came around the edge. We cannot let Myles Garrett to have ourselves a feast in the backfield. We just got to gash them through the run because Chase Brown, he isn't Derrick Henry. They haven't even seen who the real Derrick Henry is. Now take a look at how the Browns lost in Week 18 last year. So, in last year, when in Week 18, box score, Browns, Ravens. (10-35). Lamar Jackson, 16 out of 32 for 217 yards and 2 touchdowns. Great. Derrick Henry got 2 touchdowns in the game, and Lamar didn't even score any touchdown. They only gave up 2 touchdowns to Derrick Henry. That's only fair. They gave up 2 receiving touchdowns to Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews. Bailey Zappi was in the game. He threw 2 picks. 2 picks. And he only completed 16 out of 31 attempts for only 170 yards and only 1 touchdown. And Thompson Robinson came in as a backup to throw 2 out of 3 passes for 13 yards. No touchdowns, but no picks. Last I checked, is Zappi on the team? Let's find out. So basically, is Zappi on the team? Let me find out. Yes, he still is there. He is just a backup still. But he will not be in the game against the Ravens. It'll be Joe Flacco. The last time Joe Flacco was in the Ravens' home, the last time Joe Flacco was at M&T Bank, Joe Flacco lit you guys up for as many yards as you can count. We cannot have that happen just to blow ourselves this game. We were up 15. Let's see if we can still be up by a huge amount. We were that close to blowing out the Buffalo Bills last week. Can we replicate that same performance against the Browns, except we do not give up a couple of touchdowns to Flacco? Because I trust you. This man can kill you in the air, and they can gash you within the run. Actually, they haven't performed well in the run because the Bengals held them to a couple of yards on the run. But this is AFC North football. You got to take this real personal. Real personal. I'm going live for the game. I better see you guys Ravens win. Alright? If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts and your scoreboard predictions. And I will see you when I go live. Deuces.